Okay. I got you.
All right, we are joined by Michaela Onyenwere. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand and I will call on you. Michelle Smith, you can go ahead.
There we go. Michaela, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great, thank you. They played you guys really tough, and then you were able to, you guys were able to get some separation in the end. Can you just talk about, what that took and what it took out of you, considering you've got to turn around and play again tomorrow?
I would just say credit to Washington. I think they're fighting for something bigger than themselves right now. And so for them to kind of come out and kind of punch us in the mouth a little bit, it's just kind of how March goes. I think the first quarter, we started off really, really well. Our tempo was really, really good. We were able to get a lot of stops and then able to run in transition, which is one of the things we do really well. And so when they took that away, it was a little bit challenging for us to kind of get back into it. But I think at the end of the day, we found a way. And moving forward, we're going to go into Arizona and kind of figure out what we need to do to get a win there. But yeah, I'm proud of my team for just sticking it out and winning this one.
Thank you.
Cori, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Michaela? It's Cori. Can you just elaborate on just that what happened in the fourth quarter? You guys were making a lot of fast break. You and Charisma was just kind of taking advantage of the turnovers that Washington. Can you just elaborate on it?
Yeah, of course. So in the first quarter, like I said, that's something that we were really doing well in the first quarter. And so we kind of got back to that. And that just kind of comes from energy from us getting stops on the defensive end. And that's our anchor. And that's what we tell ourselves all the time. And so when we're able to get stops and run like that, we're really hard to beat. And we were able to get back to kind of that anchor in the fourth quarter, which is really nice to see.
Hi. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Just how valuable are your teammates like Lauren and Natalie in that first half, especially when you're really trying to get things going?
I think Natalie was huge for us today. Like, we harp on her just being a defensive stopper and being a passion player for us. And so for her to come out and get all those deflections, get those steals, get those loose balls that were going out of bounds and give us extra possessions is so, so huge. And I'm super proud of her for just having the confidence in herself to be that person for us. And then Lauren is just somebody who's our rock for us, even if that's not on the stat sheet. And so she comes and she does everything well. She kind of keeps us steady. And so they're very, very valuable, even if it doesn't show up on the stat sheet all the time. I'm super proud. I'm glad to call my teammates.
Sue, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, we can hear you. Now we can hear you.
Okay, great. Hi, Mick. Okay. So take me through when you got. It just seemed like all of a sudden you were one team, and all of a sudden somebody just flipped a switch, and all of a sudden you went back to being the Bruins. What happened there? Like, that was real quick, and then all of a sudden everything was fine again. What happened?
Yeah, I think it's just like I said, like, defense is really our anchor, and that's what really gives us energy. And tonight we weren't shooting the best. And so that's what we kept talking about in the huddles. Is like, okay, y'all, like, we know it's a battle right now on the offensive end, like, but let's get stops. Like, that's something that we can do all the time. And we're able to run like that. It's so fun to play with my teammates. And so I think that's kind of where we kind of turned it around and kind of flipped that switch. But we know that that's what we have to kind of settle in our identity. So yeah, that's something that we definitely have to continue to keep doing.
Yeah, you guys have been there before many times this season. Obviously, it just seems like you guys keep finding a way, and like, if this isn't working, you keep trying that, and just keep is that kind of how it feels like to you guys?
Yeah, I find a way at all times, especially during this time when there's a team like Washington who's fighting for a playoff spot. We know that they are fighting for something bigger than themselves, like I said. So yeah, find a way, survive and advance is definitely going to be something we're going to keep doing in this tournament and moving forward.
Thanks, and congratulations.
Thank you, Sue.
Kahari, go ahead.
Okay, you have mentioned like Lauren is your rock, and then you guys are just basically indebted on defense. You know, your defense is what you guys stand for. You know, how important is it to have someone like Lauren to kind of fire you guys up, even though, you know, certain things that she doesn't make the stat sheet?
Yeah, in the second half, I just heard Lauren We were obviously struggling on the offensive end, but I heard her, come on, y'all, let's get a stop. Come on, y'all, let's deny this, pressure the ball. And so to hear that and to have a teammate who's pushing you, even when sometimes you don't want to be pushed, is super, super, just super valuable. And so I'm proud of her for staying level-headed, even when things weren't going well on the offensive end. And she's huge for us, like I said. Like, she's going to be somebody we're always going to rely on. So that's super huge.
Awesome. Any more questions for Michaela? All right, thanks, Michaela. We'll have Coach over shortly.
All right, thank y'all. Have a good one. Ooh, my mask.
All right, we are joined by Coach Cori Close. If you have a question, go ahead and use the raise hand function and I will call on you. Doug, you can go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Doug. I'd rather be able to see you in person out here. You're usually out here.
I know. I don't know if you'd be able to see me. I don't know what the rules are out there, but I miss being there. You mentioned a couple of weeks ago how tough this was going to be for you guys because you don't have the numbers on a bench. I mean, you won tonight. How are you going to come back tomorrow and potentially the next day knowing that you might have to play people a lot of minutes to get there in advance again?
Well, you're going to have to see what we're made of, right? I mean, I don't think you can rely on how you feel. How you feel really doesn't matter. How bad do you want it? And how bad do you want to prepare with your mind and your heart? And it's anything else is just not an option if you want to get to the finals. So, is it hard? Yeah, but we've been dealing with that all year. So it really is just how bad do you want it? And, we're going to have to, people are going to have to play. Yeah, it was more minutes and we would have liked to have had to play tonight for some of our players, but you know what? I'll challenge the other three that, you're going to have to give us more tomorrow. And bottom line is it's up to your mind and your heart. And if your mind and your heart is strong enough, then your body will follow.
Thanks, Cori.
You bet. Thank you, Doug.
Kahari, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Coach?
Hi, Kahari.
What's going on? What's happening? It's great to see you guys out here tonight in person. Michaela kind of talked about how you guys' defense is your anchor. And can you just elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, we are a much improved shooting team than we were a year ago, but it is still not the preeminent part of our success. Our success is built on defense, rebounding, and passion plays. And passion plays are non-statistical hustle plays that we believe are the intangibles that lead us to high levels of play and help us survive bad shooting nights. And, I just think, yeah, we didn't shoot well from three. So adjust, who cares? That's not how we built. We're not a live by the three, die by the three kind of team. And we needed to be a lot more just poised and go, hey, you know what? Let's not take the first open three. Let's make sure we get Michaela, for instance, we need to get her some better scoring touches and we need to have more purpose. And then when that ball comes inside out, then go ahead and shoot it. But I thought we were settling for threes after it was very apparent that we weren't on. And, we can survive that as long as we play with purpose and awareness of how the game needs to be played that way. And so, I think we've always built our team around that. And so in nights where we don't shoot as well, we need to be able to recognize sooner that that is our anchor, remember what we forgot and get back to getting stops and rebounds.
And also she had mentioned like Lauren that you guys rock. Can you elaborate just what it means to have that type of player on your team that doesn't have to do much to make the stat sheet, but she still makes a huge impact on the game?
Well, I thought our communication was really poor, to be honest with you, out there tonight. And Lauren was the one who held it together. I think Lauren Miller and Lindsay Casaro were the two communicators out on the floor, getting us back together, regrouping us. But Lauren is her IQ is off the charts. She understands what the game plan is, and her communication changes us from being a reactionary team to an anticipatory team. And I thought Lauren was a tremendous steadying force with her communication tonight, and just really those baseline jumpers, the ones that she hit very key moments. I thought, I think she's getting more and more confident. And she's been putting in the work before practice every day. She's been working with Coach Tasha on her perimeter shot, and that's paying off. So I thought those were clutch buckets as well.
Michelle, go ahead.
Hi, Cor.
Hi, Michelle.
I'm here. I miss Doug too, just so you know. I need a running buddy.
I bet you do.
I asked Adia this question. The teams that are still left are all teams that play really good defense. I mean, the scores today indicate that these are 4 really strong defensive teams. And I asked Adia if she thought that defense might decide this championship. On the other hand, Stanford put up 92 today. So you got to score 2, right? I mean,
absolutely.
So which is going to win out, you think, ultimately in this championship? Is it going to be a team that makes a defensive stand, or are you going to have to score a lot of points to win this title?
Well, I don't know if you got to score a lot of points. I think every team is going to play great defense. And I think the defense keeps you in it. But you got to have to put the ball in the hole. And, I think in general, in the postseason, if you analyze over the past several years, let's say take Stanford, who's averaging 79 points a game, right? Usually when you get to these kind of semifinals, finals games, or Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4 games, the points go down about 11 points per game. And so you got to be able to execute in the half court. You got to be able to be really strong, and you got to usually have to go a little deeper into the shot clock, even though actually all of the teams, maybe with the exception of Oregon State, wants to play up and down. But I think you have to be able to execute. So the answer to your question, Michelle, is I really don't think you can do one or the other. I think you absolutely, if you want to win a championship in this conference, you better be able to do both. Maybe not proportionally 50-50. I think probably all of us would say it's going to anchor by our defense, but we're going to have to be able to run good offense and create teamwork shots together. But I think you have to be able to do both.
Thank you.
You bet.
Sue, go ahead.
Hey, hi, Cori.
Hi, Sue.
I know this isn't a new situation for you guys. You guys have been able to find your way somehow out of various situations throughout the season. So maybe you could talk about how you guys are always able to find a way out of whatever rabbit hole you went down into. And then tonight seemed kind of unique because it just seemed like all of a sudden, boom, somebody woke up T'Challa in the Black Panther, and then all of a sudden you guys were the Bruins again. Like it was just like kaboom, and I'm like, oh my God, they're back. I don't know. Maybe you could speak to that, and then also tell us how you guys can always find a way. And it's true, Lauren did seem to be really something out there tonight. So
yeah. I think, I thought really you talked about the real shift, and I think Natalie Cho deserves a lot of credit for that. Her deflections and defensive plays and hustle plays and saving the ball back in bounds that led us to a 2-on-1 break. And I just thought some of her passion plays were really huge in that momentum shift. But, I think that, I just think we don't see it as the rabbit hole, so to speak. I think we see it as, okay, what does the team need from me right now? And I just don't think if we're going to go make a deep run in March, we have to be a team that doesn't see obstacles. We try to find solutions. And I think that's pretty much for all of us. And this has been such a crazy year. And the teams that have stayed focused on, okay, we got to adapt here. This is what needs to happen right now. And just don't even let the things that are out of your control distract you from adapting, being flexible, and making your next right step. And so, I just think we try to not see it as deficits or get too down on ourselves. It'll be interesting to see though, because when we played Arizona last time, we had that abysmal third quarter, and that was sort of panicked a little bit. And we actually, we didn't turn the ball over. We were pretty even on the boards, pretty even in terms of assist turnovers. But it came down to really focusing on getting teamwork shots together and the next right step. And we sort of panicked a little bit. So maybe we did go into that hole, but I think we're different now. But we'll see tomorrow, because they're an incredibly good defensive team. They're going to put tremendous pressure. And, give them credit. They're good at that. We're going to have to be able to handle that well. But we're going to have to be able to create shots for each other and with each other. And we'll see how much we've learned, won't we?
Francis, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Congrats on the win. I had a couple questions for you.
Sure.
So first is, you have Arizona tomorrow, obviously, and they have one of the best players in the conference in Ari McDonald. What does your team kind of have to do to prepare for her and Arizona in general tomorrow?
Well, she is a great player, but we got some pretty great players too. And so if you're going to play at this level, I mean, Ari is the fastest guard in the country with the ball in her hands. No question about it. Her relentless pressure and the way she flies around the court and gets traps and pokes the ball. And she gets her team extra possessions. Credit to her. But you know what? We got some dang good players, and they got to, be like, hey, as much as we have to worry about Ari, they got to worry about us. And so, mad respect for not just Ari McDonald, but their entire team. I think they're balanced. They hustle for each other. They are physical. Arizona's a really good basketball team, period. But I think we're a really good basketball team too. And so we're going to face this, every single team we play at this level has a really, really good player. It just looks a little different. So all the credit to Ari and all she's earned. But my focus is, how do I put my players in the position to play to their best and make them worry about us?
And my second question is, you guys have had a pretty uncharacteristic showing in terms of turnovers and shooting the ball, and yet you guys still won by double digits. I guess my question is, what can your team learn from a game like this? Can that be seen as a good thing in any way, or?
Yeah. Well, I think that it reminds us of what we're built on. And I think probably Michaela talked about that, and it sounds like, and that's definitely, if it informs us of how to reset our minds correctly, then maybe it is a benefit. But, 12 turnovers at the half, that was really poor. We usually average under 12 turnovers for the game. And so, credit to Washington. They really play that style. The bottom line was that you got to play to your team's identity and strength. And the reality is that Washington played to their strengths and identity better than we played to ours tonight. And that's going to be what we need to learn from going into tomorrow's game, is that we have a way of playing the game that is best for us. And Arizona has a way of playing the game that's best for them. Can we disrupt that and play to our strengths, or is it going to be vice versa? That's going to be the battle. It's going to be the battle within the game. It's going to be the battle within our preparation. But yeah, I mean, I'm not as worried about our poor shooting night, but the turnovers those concern me, because we need to stay at 11 or under tomorrow for sure if we want to be in this, be in a position to win the game tomorrow. So that one concerns me more than the poor shooting, because that's something I think is a little bit more under our control, and I think we could have prevented that a little bit. But the tougher, more together team is going to win tomorrow, period. And so the challenge will be which one wants it more, and which ones puts themselves in a position to be the tougher, more together team.
Any more questions for Coach? Thanks, Coach Cori.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. We appreciate it.